Happy Sunday and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devil Show, brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe, even leave a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. I am Anthony Totri.
Yeah, you are.
Joined, as always, by the comfort of his home, Shane Diefenbach. Sean
Yes,
DePaul
I
is
am.
still on vacation, but it doesn't matter because it is still time to meet us on Mill, because guess what, Shane? Arizona State with the 13th dub of the season, 4-1 now in conference play after a 73-65 win over the Washington Huskies. A lot to get into. Jamiya Neal had himself a career game. Devin Cambridge went nuclear. Bobby Hurley and company has this team firing on all cylinders. But Shane, just the initial reaction to the dub today.
Bobby Hurley Jr. and this team did not. I've never seen a platoon swap of starters to bench, then back from the bench to the starters with like 13 seconds to go, and the lead is still double digits. RIP if you had ASU minus 9.5. That is tragic.
That is a bad
I did
beat.
not, thank God. But yeah, Sun Devils win. They, the first half was fine. It was exactly what we've seen through this whole year: slow starts and the defense keeping them in it, and then, as JJ puts in the chat, just turned into Lob U. I mean, Devin Cambridge had 6 dunks in the second half. That's unheard of.
Crazy.
It was
That is
one of the most fun games I've ever watched. And yeah, this team, even when they have ugly starts offensively and just ugly games offensively, the games are still fun to watch because of how much energy they bring night in and night out.
Does Bobby Hurley give the best halftime speeches of anybody in the conference?
Yeah, that could be true.
Maybe it's just the halftime oranges that just really get him going in the second half. Maybe get the vitamin C. That's what Devin Cambridge needed for the 18 points that he had tonight. Warren Washington, I felt, took it personally when people were asking about his rebound numbers after the win over Washington State. Man, I think compiled 11 boards, and a bunch of those were in the first half. Like, the man continues to be a menace. I feel like when he just is on the court, offense, defense, he does it all, really. And yeah, like to your point, like Devin Cambridge was the more dominant Cambridge brother tonight. It's nice to see Dev kind of have an outing similar to what we saw was capable from him toward the start of the season, because I felt like he's cooled off a little bit offensively before, tonight's game. For you, though, like, we'll obviously get into Devin Cambridge. I want to ask you a little bit about DJ Horn, because DJ Horn, again, had another day today. 12 points, 4 of 12 from the field, 4 of 9 from 3. A shaky first half for him, which is starting to become consistent. But for him to knock down some of those threes in the second half, how big do you think that is for his confidence moving forward?
I mean, it's huge. He shot 5 threes in the second half and made 3 of them, and they were all really big. He had a couple ones that should have been daggers, and a couple of them to kind of keep them in this game. It was refreshing to see. You could go to. There's a lot of guys on this team where you can go to, and they might have a cold start or they might not produce consistently like Jamiya, but then they have a game like they had today. I mean, DJ just continues. Like, I know the inefficiencies and I know they take some dumb shots, but this entire team takes dumb shots, and it's the green light factor that you live and die with, because that's what makes this team so special. They're not afraid to shoot.
Yeah. I think the best part of today is seeing this stat that I believe this is the first time that the Sun Devils have gone or started the season 4-1 in conference play since the 2007 or 2008 season. So it's been over a decade since an ASU team has started this hot in conference play, which is saying something considering the teams that you have in this conference, right? You've got UCLA, you've got Arizona. We obviously know what went down in that rivalry meeting a few weeks ago. You've got Utah, who's hot. USC went toe-to-toe with UCLA. Watch out for Oregon in conference play, right? Like, this is huge for a team to start this hot with a conference that could, feature 4-5 teams potentially in the, March Madness tournament at the end of the season.
Yeah, it's this conference is real. I mean, I loved what they were saying on the broadcast tonight. There's no finger rolls in this conference. There's no easy buckets. And yeah, Washington might struggle. Might have struggled early this year, but they competed with U of A on the road, and it might be just so how U of A is playing. But yeah, they're a solid team, and they're a bottom team in the conference right now. Where does that put them? Like 1-5 in conference play? It's just 1-4. This conference is deep.
Yeah. And it's, again, says a lot about ASU. JJ in the chat, real deal. Neal, we'll obviously get to Jamiya's numbers a little bit later, but to Joe's point, ASU, third place now in the conference. I believe you got UCLA at the top, then Utah second, then ASU. And guess what? The Wildcats had a bad loss to Washington State the other night. So ASU sitting by themselves with that third spot. And we talked about how big these games are going to be down the stretch when ASU finishes with a UCLA, USC, Arizona, Utah slate at the end of the season, right? Like, these are wins that you just got to have. So
Yeah.
I do want to get to the numbers of this game. Obviously, the only one that matters is that final score. ASU on top, 73-65 shooting percentage. I know ASU struggled in the first half, but they finished with 41% from the field to the Huskies, 36% from behind the arc. ASU shooting a little bit better than they normally do, 32% from behind the arc to Washington's 28% in terms of those turnover numbers. Arizona giving it up 11 times to UW's 13. And then you look at these block numbers fueled by none other than Devan Cambridge and Warren Washington, 8-5 in favor of the Sun Devils. Shane, what number sticks out to you?
Just kind of how ugly this game was that you can see from the score sheet. The final is not as close as it was, obviously. They turned it up. I couldn't find the official dunk numbers, but I would assume it's somewhere around 12 for ASU. So that number would have stuck out to me. But yeah, I mean, just another pretty clean game. Turnovers not really an issue for this team, and 11 isn't terrible. It's not the best, but when you're always getting more back than you're giving up, it's going to help. So yeah, those 13 turnovers and 8 blocks for ASU are definitely the difference maker for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the 3-point percentage, just because this team did not shoot well from behind the arc in that first half. At one point, I think 10 minutes in the game, ASU was shooting maybe 12% from the field, or from behind the arc. So to finish, around where they did, I think is impressive. And we already talked about DJ's numbers, shooting in the second half. Joe coming at me in the chat.
Oh, did you say Arizona?
I think it may have slipped out at some point. I think it did. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. We own the state. Let's calm down. We own the state, Joe. Come on now. Let's get into the bottle service for tonight. We're going a little out of order, but I do want to get just because of how dominant he was in the second half. We had a quick discussion about it, and then you just look at the stat sheet and you're like, there really isn't anywhere else to go but Devan Cambridge.
No, it was a discussion, and then he dunked for like the 6th time. It's Devan Cambridge. 18 points, 9 of 14 from the field, 2 blocks, 2 steals, 94,000 dunks, 800 feet jumped. Like, he was just all over the place tonight. And you cannot say enough about this man's defense. I mean, anytime you need a turnover, you need a big rebound. Like, he is always in the mix. And he had a couple big, obviously the 2 steals and 2 blocks are big, but he took like 2 or 3 charges tonight, and he's always in the right place. He's such a glue guy for this team. And when you can get 18 points from your glue guy, get 18 points from a guy that's not normally scoring for this team consistently, night in and night out, your basketball team is going to be a problem. And this team is a problem right now.
He is a freak. He is an athletic freak on both sides of the court. I can't remember a time when ASU has had a guy of this quality in terms of athleticism. Was it Cheatham? Do you think the last guy that had this type of freak athlete in him?
Yeah, I would say Z is definitely up there, definitely close. But this is like a different type of athleticism. Z was like long rangey, and he could definitely jump, but this is like he doesn't matter where he is. If he is like 7 feet from the rim, he's gonna go up and get a lob. Like, it's just so it's like that meme where you're someone walking away and you hear something behind you and you turn and it's Dev Cambridge running down the court. You're like, is that the Grim Reaper? Like, that's what they're thinking. Watch your heads when Dev Cambridge is coming down court.
Oh yeah, he puts young men on posters. And it's a tragedy because they're going to be on those posters for the rest of their lives, and Devan Cambridge is going to have them hanging somewhere over a fireplace when he gets older, I imagine. Guys, it's time to join us for our inaugural PHNX Tee Party on Friday, presented by Four Peaks at Dobson Ranch Golf Course on Friday the 13th. It's going to be a lot of fun. I know there's going to be prizes, contests, some great food. I know Four Peaks is going to be out there with some swag and some beer samples as well. A great way to kick off the weekend, again, at Dobson Ranch Golf Course. There's going to be a Suns watch party and post-game show out there. They play the T-Wolves. Suns need the dub. Just come out, have some fun. Everybody from PHNX is going to be there. Check the link in the description to reserve your spot right now to come have some fun with us at Dobson Ranch Golf Course.
Absolutely. It's gonna be a really fun time. I mean, Dobson Ranch is just it's just a beautiful place. I mean,
it's electric, bro. It's an electric
yeah,
pick.
it's Top Golf, but make it more fun. Top Golf will make it spicy. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Dobson Ranch and also a big fan of the DraftKings Sportsbook app. As I said, didn't take ASU spread today, thank God, because that would have hurt. But I did do a bunch of other things. I had to bet on the Bills today.
Of course.
Minus 8.5, I believe I got it this morning. That hit. I have a teaser that's the last leg is Commanders plus 13. I think they're winning right now, right? I don't know.
Let me check.
But yeah, all of it available on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. I wish we could get player props in Arizona, but they're not here yet for college because I would love to take Frankie Collins over rebounds parlayed with Jamiya Neal over points parlayed with Dev Cambridge over 3-point attempts. But you can't get that yet. But you can get a bunch of other things on the DraftKings Sportsbook app, including the game tonight when you bet just for $5 on any NFL team's money line. Take the Lions money line. No, just kidding. It's probably take the Packers. We'll see what happens. You can get $150 in free bets if the team that you bet on wins. It's this week at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Promo code PHNX. Just a reminder, though, age and eligibility restrictions apply. See them show notes for more details. MC in the chat saying what everyone's thinking. Please don't rank us. It's a curse every time. Keep them hungry. I agree. Let's rattle off a couple more wins first, and then we'll see. But I can't remember the last time I don't think a Bobby Hurley team has ever not been ranked while they were in conference play and then got enough wins to be ranked. I don't think that's ever happened. They've been ranked in conference play, but they lose it in conference play. I don't know if they've ever regained it or got it for the first time in conference play.
I think they will. You were talking about the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Give some NFL updates here. Commanders up 26-6 now. Eagles up 22-9. Chargers trailing the Broncos 28-31. The 49ers are stopping the Cardinals. Chargers right now have the ball 3rd and 14 at the 36. Odds are they'll probably punt, and that'll be that. Cards trailing 38-13. Rams Seahawks is headed to overtime after the Seahawks missed a game-winning field goal. So
are you
48-yarder hit the upright, according to the app. So you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer, Shane. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. To take your mind off of it, let's talk about Jamiya Neal's career game that he had today. He was a lot of fun, right? We talk about this team struggling so much offensively in the first half. This is a guy, I believe he had 12 points and 7 boards in the first half. He came off the bench, and he just provided that spark tonight that this team needed to just carry over into that second half.
Yeah, 12 points in 12 minutes, 5 of 6 shooting, 2 of 3 from the field in the first half, 7 boards. Like he was awesome. I mean, they needed him. Like the game wouldn't have been over, but it kept them in it for sure. It kept them with the lead going into halftime. Got a standing ovation when he came out of the game, and then went right back in. He was awesome. I mean, to play 12 minutes off the bench to play 12 minutes while coming off the bench in one half, especially in the first half, it's pretty great. It doesn't matter if you start the game; it matters if you finish it. And he was definitely finishing that first half today.
And I think the big thing for me, right, is we've talked over there, I would probably say the last couple of games, just because Jamiya hasn't looked like the guy that everybody thought he would look like going into this season, right? I think there was a lot of hype around him. He's a big guard, and we're just kind of waiting for him to take that next step. He hadn't done it yet. Today clearly was that turning point in the season for him, and hopefully that builds a little bit more confidence for him going forward into some more of these big conference games, because they need it. It never hurts to have an extra score, especially one coming off the bench, right? Because at this point, you're like, okay, the big bench guys, you've got Duke Brennan, you got Luther Muhammad. If Jamiya Neal can really turn into a guy that can give this team eight points even every game, that is so big, right? ASU won by 8 tonight. Washington finished the game, I believe, on a 14-something run. And I know, a lot of those were, just heaving up threes and whatever, but to still win by 8 and have Washington make like 7 of 8 of their final shots is huge.
They went 15. They were in it on a 15-3 run.
And ASU still won by 8.
They scored 12 points in a minute 17. Yeah,
That's
it's
not great.
it's great. It's pretty awesome. They should have won by 20, but it doesn't matter. The only thing that this affects a little bit is rankings, like statistically,
Yeah.
like Ken Palm and stuff. But I don't know, by like maybe 1 point, if that.
Outside of Jamiya and Dev, was there anybody for you from a player perspective that you're like, okay, time to give some flowers to?
Who had 7 assists tonight?
Was it Frankie?
Desmond Cambridge.
Dez had 7.
When he can't shoot, he's facilitating. There were a couple really good moments where he missed a couple threes, and he gets the ball. The pace is fast, and I love when they play fast. But you're clenching your cheeks a little bit when they're dribbling down the court super fast, because a lot of times, the ball's gonna get turned over. Someone's gonna kick it off their own or dribble off their own foot. Dez had a couple possessions where he drive the lane and kick, found DJ for a 3 in the corner once. Yeah, it's awesome to see. He was really good despite an off night shooting. Came up. He always comes up quietly defensively too. I think he's such an underrated on ball defender.
Yeah, I agree. I think
Joe
we're
says
still.
ASU got to 26th on February 24th, 2020, and then lost 3 in a row. Yeah, I don't think they've ever gotten to 25. Maybe they were right. Yeah, that's so weird.
And I don't want to curse anything, right? But like, I don't think this is a team that can lose 3 in a row. Like, just based off the defense they play, they're in every game. We've seen it, right? Throw away that USF game. They're in every game they've played this season at some point, right? And then you've got your big glue guys, your energy guys, your Luthers, your Devons. You've got guys that can go off any given night in Dez, even Frankie, I would say. And then we saw what Warren was capable. Like, this is a team that I think has the makeup to make a deep run. We've talked about it on the show, right? It's the defensive teams are the ones that make the runs in March Madness, not the teams that, score 90 to 100 points any given night, because that can go away. Great defense doesn't go away, and we see it night after night with ASU basketball, specifically in the second half.
Yeah, it's this team is fun. It's really fun, man. It's really fun. I thought we were gonna get a Warren takeover game for a second because they found him in the soft spot of that zone a couple times and he had a push shot or two. But we didn't really need to. He was really quietly good too on the glass. I mean, he just his presence all the time, and I love when he blocks people because he always has to yell, and I'm fine with that. He can yell all he wants.
I love it. I love it. Something else that I love is More Furniture and all of the amazing stuff that they've got at our office right now. I'm at my parents' house spending, Sunday football with them. They unfortunately don't have the comfiest chairs. I don't know what they're doing.
Tragic.
So I'm sitting here in a non-More Furniture chair and my butt hurts. It's not great. And I'm just having dreams of sitting in the studio in that nice, comfy chair, or even the recliner that we got in the watch room. Guys, if you are in need of furniture, right? Or if you want a little bit of money on that DraftKings Sportsbook app and you're looking for somewhere to spend it, the right place is morefurniture.com. They've got some of the best, biggest deals on furniture all the time. Go on. Again, morefurniture.com. I'm sure Sean's excited to get back from his vacation just because of all the comfortable stuff that he's got in his new apartment, thanks to More Furniture.
Yeah, More Furniture. Get on it. You know what else? You can get on some action at Burrito Express. Right now, if you go to Burrito Express, buy a $25 Burrito Express gift card, get a free burrito with that. Head over to your nearby Burrito Express location today. The food is fantastic. The vibes are effervescent, and you'll never leave disappointed. More Furniture and Burrito Express pair really well because you eat a burrito and then you have a little food, or maybe eat 2 burritos. You got a little food baby going on. You can just lounge around in a nice More Furniture recliner while eating some Burrito Express. Burrito Express, lots of locations all over the valley, supporting the Sun Devils, supporting us. Thank you to Burrito Express, and just the food's fantastic. If you haven't had it yet, WYD.
Well, we're talking about food and consumption. Let's get into the aftertaste of this game. Shane, what was lobbed into your pie hole this evening?
Like a Red Bull with a caffeine pill that I didn't know was in there, and Desmond Cambridge dunked the caffeine pill in my Red Bull. It was electric. The atmosphere sounded great. Good crowd for a Sunday football. Yeah, it was just electric. What about you?
I'm going to go with just my morning cup of coffee,
Nice.
right? And the reason I'm going to do it, I know it's a plain, bland answer, specifically because I drink black coffee, but it's something that, like, if you don't have it, right? If you go days on end without your morning cup of coffee, like, it's something that when you do it, you're like, damn, like something was just off, right? Something was off. people take for granted these types of wins, right? It wasn't always the prettiest, but it was an 8-point dub. You got some great minutes from some guys that I feel like needed to show that they could be the type of players that we thought they are. And I think you got that tonight. It's not flashy. It's not something that's going to make ESPN's top 10 tonight. Although maybe one of Dev, maybe 9 of Dev's dunks maybe make it, but it's something that they needed. And it's something that this team, I felt like, continues to just add up, is those morning cup of joes. It's exciting, man. I'm really excited about this team. I know we talked and we talk often about this team compared to last team, right? Where it felt like they had some of the pieces that just never really clicked. That is not the case at all with this team. It feels like they have finally found that synergy. And once, I'm telling you, man, and I know you think it too, once this team can put together some sort of offense of chemistry in the first half of games, watch out. This is one of the most dangerous teams in the country if they can figure out how to make baskets in the first half.
Yeah, how about just offensive, like, consistency in general?
Yeah.
Sorry if I'm distracted. Baker Mayfield, the Seahawks went 3 and out, and the Baker Mayfield just threw a pick. I don't know what's happening. Yeah, what the hell is up with Connor Soley transferring to Oregon? Maybe Kenny put in a good word for him up there. Who knows?
I don't know, dude.
Yeah,
I didn't think he was good enough to go to Oregon, to be honest with you.
And 3 transfers in one day. Are they all 4 stars? I know 2 of them are at least 4 stars. Was the third guy a 4-star? The D lineman?
I want to say yes. I'll have a better answer tomorrow, but today, man, a hell of a day. Hell of a day for them.
Kenny cooking, and
Kenny hasn't stopped cooking. That's Kenny. Like Kenny
sweating. Have you seen? Hey, chat. Let me know if you guys have seen the new movie on HBO Max, The Menu. Oh my God, watched that last night. I hope Kenny's not cooking any of that. Toadry, you got to go watch that movie. It is crazy.
Is that like it's like a murder movie, right?
Yeah.
Where the guy is holding people. Okay, yeah, I've seen things on TikTok of it. I didn't know it was on HBO.
Crazy.
I'll have to go check it out. I'll have to definitely.
It goes crazy.
Shane, do we have a lyric of the game today?
We don't have a lyric of the game because I was forced to do everything today because we don't have a producer. I wasn't forced. I was asked and I said yes. We're kind of shorthanded today, so I had to make the intro. I didn't make. What was me? Who cares? While watching football. If you guys have a good,
that's the lyric of the game.
That's the lyric of the game. What's the song that goes? Hey, hey, dun, 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 dun.
Ooh, no, I don't know what it is, but I hear it. Anybody listening on audio could probably get it. They can probably understand. I would love to see just that lyric typed out. What you just said, I think it would be quite phenomenal.
No. Yeah, something like
there
that.
You go.
I don't know.
Beautiful,
yeah,
beautiful.
Be hard to do.
Let's get the Bobby board up here. Favorite part of post-game shows is the Bobby board.
The Bobby board's been delayed. Give me 1 second. The Bobby board's under construction.
But it's not expired like the Yotes punch card, right? We don't need to go get a new one?
No, not expired.
Okay. Now I'm excited to see this because I think this caps off the whole second row, I think, at this point.
It does.
Beautiful. Things you love to see. We're going to have that
What good 2 wins, dude. Like, my goodness.
Right? And to start, and I know conference play, yada, 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 started when they had Stanford and in Colorado. But I know those were conference games. I don't really count them. But today, right, we've talked all week about how big it is just to start with a series and get both wins, especially at home. This team, we haven't even talked about how good this team is at home, right? So to start conference play the way they did, Washington State, they won that game, and look what Washington State did to the Wildcats the other night, right?
Last night.
Big dub.
It was awesome.
It
was awesome. Yeah, I haven't even talked my shit yet. LOL, hilarious. This team, so U of A, we were like, they're a top 3 team in the country. They're
fraudulent.
Top 10. They're top 10. No, they're not fraudulent. They're top 10. They have holes. Pella Larson kind of sucks. I'm just going to say it. He just kind of does. Mohamed Gay, who the Sun Devils absolutely dominated and Warren Washington had a field day on, had 24 and 14. TJ Bamba had some big buckets down the stretch. He only finished with 9 points, but the entire starting lineup kind of feasted on U of A's interior defense, which is really strange to me. If you're not getting something other than Tubelis scoring, the team's kind of screwed. We have the Bobby board also, by the way, so we'll go ahead and throw it up there. Look at that. Look how happy and cute he is.
Gosh.
Look at I'm very confused. How is this happening? Look at Creighton and Washington. Those are not the same faces. but
It kind of looked like it though.
It's not the same occasion, but he's making the same face. At what point is he doing both of the? Like, how is that happening? Where is that? What is he doing? What do you think that picture's taken from?
What do I think it's taken from?
Because he's like looking up and like opening his mouth like he's scared. Like, what is that?
Maybe he is scared. He's scared for the lives of everybody that Devan Cambridge dunks on. That's what it is.
That's fair.
Do you think it's it can't be anything else? Come on now.
No. Yeah, you're right. You're totally right.
I'm never wrong, Shane. I'm never wrong, Shane. So one of the best parts about the Bobby Award is you get a look ahead as to what the schedule looks like, right? So you've got Oregon and Oregon State coming up for the Sun Devils. We know that Oregon hasn't lived up to expectations so far this season. And then you've got an Oregon State team that isn't good. They're not good at basketball. What do you expect from this next series between these two teams?
Litmus test to see what this team truly is. Oregon just beat Utah on the road yesterday. Yeah. And the game before that, they laid an egg against Colorado, only scoring 41 points. I don't know, man. This team has been fine at home, but not great. They lost to Utah Valley at home. They beat Oregon State by 9 at home. They're coming off a road trip. They're going to want to protect their home court. I mean, they have a talented roster. It's just a lot like last year's roster for ASU, like a lot of new pieces, a lot of moving parts. Yeah, I don't really know what to expect. But again, if ASU beats Oregon, Oregon gets pissed next Saturday. Arizona at Oregon, they can get their scraps again and try to lose.
Just saying,
PNW.
Didn't ASU sweep Oregon last year?
Yeah, that was weird. Those games were so weird. Those games were so weird. You need this win, though.
I mean, you need every win. You need every win with the way this conference is playing, because I think we thought UCLA and Arizona were the best two teams, clearly. But given what we saw specifically in that USC-UCLA game earlier in the week, how USC had the game. They had the game, gave up an offensive rebound. UCLA kicked it out for a 3, took the lead. And then you've got obviously what has happened over the first few games for Arizona in conference play with the beatdown against Utah, and then last night's loss to Washington State. Like, you gotta pile up these wins, because you have no idea when Arizona is going to finally figure it out in terms of conference play. It's a matter of time before they start running through the conference. UCLA is one of the hottest teams in the country. So again, 2 wins I think is a must against Oregon State, especially on the road. Those would be huge conference road wins early on in this season. So did the field goal go through? So Shane's Seahawks are a Packers loss away from heading to the postseason. Denver won, so that does affect your pick.
Everything went wrong for the Seattle Seahawks today, aside from that game. Everything went wrong. The Texans, the Bears, the Cardinals, the Broncos, like their pick is now like 5, I think. It's just.
But still, to get a top 5 pick.
Nobody wants to hear about this. Nobody wants to hear about this. Nobody wants to hear about this.
That's fair. That's fair.
LTC saying, think I still got a few Four Peaks left in the back fridge from New Year's. Let's go, man.
LTC, I want to see you at Dobson Ranch, buddy. I want to see you at Dobson Ranch on Friday. I want to see everybody here at Dobson Ranch on Friday.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. Guys, before we get out of here, I want to tell you who's fueling our like brunch tomorrow. It's brunch. Breakfast, lunch. Chop Shop. Guys, I look forward to.
Oh, can you make sure nobody takes mine?
I'm literally off tomorrow, so I'm coming in just for the food.
Yeah, can you make sure like it's in the fridge, but in like hidden?
Yes, I will make sure your Chop Shop is in the fridge. Guys, if you haven't tried Chop Shop, their food is so fresh. Right? We talk a lot about the taste. We talk a lot about the taste of food, and Chop Shop, their food tastes amazing. But like, it is so fresh, and it tastes like they care about their food. Like, do you know what I'm saying, Shane? Like, there's places where you're like,
it's made with love.
Tasty. Yeah, that's what it is. Chop Shop's food is made with loves. Tomorrow I've got there's like they make smoothies too. So I'm having one of their like protein shake type smoothies, and I got a little bowl. Dude, I'm hyped. I'm ready to go. Guys, if you're interested, maybe go get some dinner, some lunch, or some brunch. Head on over to originalchopshop.com or download the app today. Any final thoughts, Shane-O, before we get out of here?
I'm so happy that this team is good. Let me find this tweet I retweeted from, of course, the one and only Tamro, always with the stats.
He's a stat machine.
13-3 and 4-1. For those wondering, add in this team to the list of teams that have started 13-3 or better and 4-1 or better. The only teams that have started 4-1 or better in conference play are 2007, 2008, 2002, 2003, 87, 88, 80 and 81, 79 and 80 started 5-0. And out of those, the only 13-3 teams that did that were 3, 6, 9, 11. Only 11 other ASU teams have started 13-3 or better. So last time being 2018.
Watch out, man. This team is coming for heads. They're coming for all the people that said they weren't going to be good.
And we're still in conference play. So
guess what?
We're winning in conference play.
We are now, it's January 8th. Next week, ASU has Oregon State. They win both of those games. This is a team that can surpass their win total of last year in the middle of January. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I think this is a 20-win team. And right now, it is full steam ahead. They're going to be dangerous, and they're one of the teams in the Pac-12 you don't want to play. But that is going to do it for us tonight, guys. We appreciate you joining us or listening wherever you get your podcast. You can give us a follow at PHNX Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. You can follow Shane at Shane Deef. You can follow Sean DePause at Sean_DePause.
Him being in Buffalo and me on my way to the national championship tonight, as always.
Yes, sir. We will see you guys Tuesday. But for now, enjoy the rest of your weekend and have a happy Monday, guys.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I actually tapped that too early. You want to go ahead and sign off one more time for the people?
Peace.
Okay,
happy
bye.
Monday. Peace.